Alrighty. Well, hello there. It's Ethan again. Video number 2. I am alive. I am back in Serbia. As my last video, I talked about, my last video I talked about a couple things. Uh, One of them was, having a goal to make more content. Well, here I am 9 months later after that first video, and I've gone 9 months without putting out another video. So I haven't really stuck to that goal. I've more recently been playing around with a little bit of Instagram and a little bit of TikTok before that, but haven't kept up with it very much. Um, but I'm finally starting to get get some satisfaction out of it, so it's drawing me in more. But I've been so lazy, procrastinating so much on that. It's crazy. I mean, 9 months has gone by, and whatever. Um, I can't believe 9 months has gone by. I remember I made the first video, and then like a month or two later, I was like, oh, I really gotta make that second one. Maybe like a month later, really gotta make that second one. I'm gonna get to it. 9 months. 9 months. Insane. Blows my mind. Um, but, a lot has happened in that time. So I guess I'll just do a little slight recap. Um, Slight recap. Yeah, I mean, so what? I was saying I was gonna do, well, yeah, I had the goal of moving in with a girl from another country, and I did do that. I had a goal of moving to Hungary, trying to make this relationship, explore the relationship more. The long distance thing wasn't so enjoyable. So we wanted to explore the relationship a little more, and just, in my eyes, that was being together, and really the only way to be together was kind of to move in together. I guess I could have lived alone, but kind of just didn't make sense. So I figured, hey, let's rent a place together. And yeah, because I'm living alone, it's a little too much money for me. Um, so it worked out well to rent together. We were great roommates. Um, No, and so then the idea was to try and find a job, find something local, or I was thinking US remote based work. I was like, I got a background in IT. I could probably find something remote and, within like a month or two, whatever. Uh, and I think this was the thoughts I was having during the first video. Months started going by and literally nothing was working out. I, uh, I mean, it still blows my mind. I don't know why. I ended up finding out that there's some sort of like data laws about working remotely from the U.S. If you're not in the U.S., there's data laws. Sounds like some bullshit to me. Um, I think there's also tax things, which is stupid. Uh, but yeah, so like a lot of the IT jobs, nothing was panning out. I started going around locally, just seeing if there. I mean, I checked local IT jobs, whatever. Um, Being in the small city, we were in the city of Pécs, Hungary. So not quite Budapest, so not as bussin' with the English scene. Um, Even though, yeah. So I think if it was Budapest, probably could have found a job, but then it would have been a 3.5, a 3 hour commute well, if I lived in Budapest, it wouldn't make sense. Girlfriend's going to school in Page, so if I live in Page, working in Budapest doesn't really make sense. All the remote jobs I was finding were at least 2 days in the office, so it's like that doesn't really work out for me. I didn't want to do that. Um, So yeah, so basically nothing ended up working out in page IT wise. And crazy enough, they had Aldi. Rambling. I don't know if I should be going into this much detail, uh, but yeah, they had Aldi there, and some lady. I'm reaching out on Facebook groups asking about jobs, and I'm ready to do anything. Not even IT. I'm like, hey, I've done volunteering for quite some time now. It's like, oh, I'll mow lawns. I'll clean bathrooms. I even thought like I could be a janitor. I was going to a local gym. I even asked them if they had any openings. I was like, I'll clean. Like I'll be a cleaning person. And wildly enough, it's like even they, like with the girl I was talking to, uh, was very. She was nice, and she's like, no, we don't have any jobs because she was thinking I was wanting to be a trainer or something. But I was like, no, I was like, I'll clean. She's like, oh, cleaning. She's like, yeah, we actually do have an opening. She's like, do you have your resume? Which I had. I gave her my resume. She's like, we'll call you, email you, whatever. I get nothing. Um, while that's happening, I'm getting like stared down by this other guy. I don't even know. I think he worked at the gym, and he just like, I think there was it's a little bit of hostility towards foreigners, and then especially when you get into the gym environment. So when you don't speak the native language, so I was getting some interesting looks from a guy while I was trying to just ask about a job. Um, I went locally to other places, stores, some restaurants. I had people just laughing at me for even trying to ask about a job and not speaking the language, which was it hurts a little bit, uh, But at least I was going around trying. I had something with Aldi. I was reaching out on Facebook groups, and some lady's like, "Yeah," she's like, "My husband's from the U.S. He only speaks English, doesn't speak Hungarian. He works for Aldi here in Page. Like, he can give you a good recommendation." And I found a job for Aldi on their website, and it was something that I was willing to do, that I could do. Fell in line with my background of what I was previously doing in IT. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'm not totally like into getting back into that corporate world, but yeah, that lined up perfectly and actually sounded decently fun enough. I was like, all right, yeah, this could be cool, this could work. And I'm like, this lady's reached out to me. I'm like, all right, that's perfect. And yeah, she just always said like, all right, yeah, just here's my husband's contact, whatever. Have a call with him, chat with him, whatever, and just talk about the job, see whatever, and then he can give you the recommendation. So it's like, all right, great. And I reach out to him. I think it was originally Facebook Messenger. Nothing. I reached back out to the wife. Hey, is your husband busy? Whatever. She's like, oh yeah, whatever. He doesn't always check Facebook Messenger. Or if you're not friends, you don't see the thing. She's like, so she gave me his phone number and his WhatsApp number, and I reach out to him on both. Just nothing. Just nothing. Like I don't know what. We just never heard back from the guy. He never even. I believe he never even opened the messages, which is, I mean, crazy. That is. I don't understand. Um, when the wife was so like kind, saying, "Oh yeah, he'll talk to you," and I just never heard back from the guy on anything I reached out to him on, which is funny. And yeah, I still applied for that job, and I took them several weeks, if not months, to get back to me, and unfortunately, I didn't get it. Um, but yeah, so then even other jobs, went around different gyms in the areas. I ended up meeting a guy who was very kind, and he was talking about how. So he's an Iranian guy. He was pretty cool. He's like, yeah. He's like, when I first came to Page, like 12, 15 years ago, whatever. He's like, I was kind of in your shoes trying to find a job. He's like, it was a bitch getting all the visa stuff working out, especially for uh, the country he was coming from, and he was going to school, and then he was trying to stay after school. He was going to be a dentist. He was trying to find work to stay in Hungary, and he said it was a pain. He had to get lawyers involved and had to keep paying them because they had to keep doing stuff. So it seems like it's kind of like a bit of a racket. trying to figure out all of the residency visa legality stuff. Um, I mean, they don't make it easy just with the government website, and it seems like you get conflicting information on what you're reading from their official website versus when I would go to the immigration offices and talk to the people there. They kind of give you a different story, and they're like, well, it's kind of this, kind of that. Like there was one visa that made sense. It was like a remote working visa, and I was like, that was the one I was originally looking to go for. But when I go and talk to immigrations, they're like, yeah, no, nobody gets that. So don't even try to go for that one. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, why even have it? It's weird. Um, so, but it was interesting. So long story short, I'm getting into maybe too much detail for this video. Long story short, didn't get a job in Page. And so, yeah, so legally, what my visa is 90 days in the Schengen zone. Hungary is part of that. And so, yeah, those 3 months flew by like that. And I am applying to 50 plus jobs online, not to mention the local businesses I went around to. Um, nothing, nothing at all. Maybe had like one or two interviews, which is crazy. And I was trying. It still kind of blows my mind. But maybe I was just, I don't know, being almost at that time, almost 2 years out of the workforce. That probably throws red flags for the IT based stuff. I don't know. I still can't believe like none of the restaurants or local things worked out. Um, Even so, the Iranian guy I met, he was like, yeah, he's like, I know this local restaurant. He's like, the people there all speak English. They're all from other countries, so they don't speak Hungarian. And I even went, so he's like, yeah, try applying there. He's like, it'll probably work out. I go there, and when I went there, the two workers were very kind, spoke some English, and they're like, yeah, we don't speak Hungarian, but the manager's not in. The website for the restaurant was down, so I couldn't apply online. So I sent him an email. I go talk to these guys. He gives me the manager's. He doesn't give me the manager's number, but he gives me some other guy's number. And he's like, "This is the guy I texted, and he got me the job." So I was like, "All right." I reach out to that guy on Facebook. I don't hear back from that guy for months. Um, and either way, so then like they're like, but the manager will be in tomorrow. So the next day I go back, maybe it was the day after, something like that, and I was like, are you the manager? And they're just like the vibe I got from this guy was so off-putting, and he's just like, yeah. And I was like, well, I talked to you guys yesterday. They said you were out of the office. They said to try to apply online, but I was like, but the website's down and you can't apply online. He just says, no, apply online. Say, I'm like, well, I can't. I was like, I sent you guys an email with my application explaining whatever that I wanted to apply. He's like, yeah, whatever. Like it totally brushed me off. It was just like, dang. Uh, yeah, so I don't know. It was an interesting experience, but either way, it didn't work out. Didn't end up finding any job, and so those 3 months flew by. I was like, well, fuck. I was like, I got a 6 month lease, which was nice. It wasn't a year long. I think 7 month lease. I was like, damn. I was like, oh, I got 4 more months of lease that I got to pay for that I'm not gonna be living in, and so that was kind of a problem. And so I was like, well, whatever, fuck it. Um, I'm just gonna enjoy the rest of my time I have here. Um, and I had a buddy come out from the U.S., came and visit me, which was a really good time. I got to show him around Budapest, and that was really fun. I was like a local tour guide at that point, so it's really neat showing someone else I grew up with around a whole new country, a whole new city. And it was neat. We went to Vienna for a couple days. That was pretty cool to explore. That was my first time. And so either way, when he left, I think I had like less than a week left on the visa, and so I was like, all right. So then he's gone. And then I'm like, all right, I gotta figure out what bus. I gotta catch a bus to go back to Serbia. It's outside the Schengen zone. I got my buddy here, good friend. I'm gonna go back there, and then I go to the immigration office. Just forget exactly why I went back, but I wanted to ask him some more questions because everything was so like weirdly confusing. It was like, what was it? It was like to get a resident permit, you have to have a job offer, but to even get a job offer, you have to have a resident permit. It's something like that. Like it was goofy. Like it really was saying it was like, oh, you need this to do this, but to do this, you need this, or vice versa, whatever the fuck. Um, so it was kind of goofy. I think you need to almost go the paid lawyer route to figure things out. I don't know. And also, I think jobs don't want to. I think it costs them a lot. I think they have to pay a lot to hire a foreigner, especially in Hungary. They have something like a workforce thing, so they have to prove that they tried hiring a Hungarian before a foreigner. So I think that comes into play as well. Um, and yeah, I probably didn't network enough, didn't connect with the right people, because I think if you meet the right people, they can make things happen. And I met some nice people when I was walking around trying to apply at local businesses. Unfortunately, none of that really did pan out, but I did meet some nice people, which was cool. Um, so, where did I leave off at? So, yeah, so I went back to the immigration's office, asked them some questions. I think I got a few days left. I think that was like a Thursday. I went there, and long story short, I ended up finding out that as a U.S. citizen, I have another 3 months. I have another 90 days in the in Hungary, not the Schengen zone, but in Hungary. And I was just like, what? It's like I literally have never heard about this, never seen it online. This random guy tells me this. He's like, yeah. He's like, nah. He's like, you get another 90 days, and I was like, it's like amazing. It's like it blows my mind. And I was really happy, really excited. I was like, that's so fucking cool. And I leave, and I didn't end up getting any like official documentation or explanation of why I get that 90 days. Um, Nothing truly in writing or anything. And I'm even looking up on Google trying to find it, and nothing's coming up. I'm asking the Chat GPT. Chat GPT is telling me it doesn't exist, and I'm just like, damn. And I talked to my Serbian buddy, and he's like, well, you should really double check that because he's like, if they're anything like the Serbian government, he's like, those people don't care about you. He's like, they'll screw around with you, they'll fuck you over just for fun. He's like, you should really get something in writing. If you go to the border and someone's asking why you've overstayed another 3 months. And I was like, damn, all right. And of course, it was Thursday. They close on Fridays or something like that. So it's the weekend, and they're closed till Monday. And Monday's the day I have to leave. Monday's my 3 months. So I was like, ah, shit. I was like, is this real? I don't know. I was like, I trusted the guy when I was talking to him, but I was like, I guess I don't have anything in writing. I can't find anything online. And their office is closed all weekend. I was like, fuck. And eventually find that the Budapest office is open. I'm able to call. I talked to a lady, and I'm like, yeah, I heard this stuff, whatever. Or I sent out emails, and I call. And she's like, yeah, no, it's real. And I'm like, yeah, I tried looking around for it. I was like, I can't find anything. Do you know what it is? And she's like, yeah, no, it's real. Just Google it. And I was just like, well, I tried. And she's like, yeah, just Google it. And I was like, okay. Uh, so still didn't officially have any real document number or something. And but I had two government employees tell me that it's real. So I was like, all right, I do trust it now. And then I eventually get emailed response to my email, and they give me the exact document numbers of what law it is that I can do this, um, which ends up being some old agreement, which was before the Schengen zone agreement, so it still applies, which is really cool. So I get the Schengen zone, and then I get this old agreement, and you can get 180 days, you get 6 months. visa free just with your U.S. passport. So that's actually really cool. And there's other countries on the list too, so it's not even just U.S. citizens, but there's a fair amount of other countries, so it's pretty neat. Um, Nonetheless, but by that time I was pretty jaded on the finding a job there. I was pretty off put by the how unwelcoming people were as far as job stuff went. So I was really just I didn't spend too much more time those other 3 months looking for a job. I was kind of just like, all right, it's a fucking sign. 50 plus jobs online, nothing panning out. All the jobs I went to in person, nothing panning out. I was like, it's kind of a sign. Uh, I took it as a sign. I felt like it was a sign. And, and to be honest, I was dreading going back into some kind of career, some kind of work, because leaving the IT office career, and when I did uh, was a pretty big move that I'm very happy that I made. And so to think about going back to that so soon, I didn't feel ready to do that. And so ultimately, I am glad that the job thing didn't work out. Um, I did end up finding some other. Fuck, this video is too long. Uh, this will be my Hungarian explanation video, I guess. Uh, Dang, I did end up finding some um, little side work for like family friend stuff. Um, I didn't make any money. Uh, and just working on like house renovation projects and stuff, and a little bit of like landscaping stuff, which was nice. Um, Got to meet some new people with that, see a new part of Hungary with that. So that was actually really fun. Um, and yeah, so I tried to more or less enjoy the next 3 months that I was doing that. I made a couple TikToks, but nothing crazy. And other than that, I really did procrastinate on all the content stuff. I made no YouTube videos. It was perfect time to make YouTube videos. I made no Instagram reels. I still, I went, I ended up going like 2 years without posting anything on Instagram. And I've been doing all these crazy travels. I've seen a lot of really cool things. I don't know why. I didn't post anything, share anything. I shared with family and friends, and yeah, I guess I don't really care too much about social media stuff like that. So, but whatever. So let's see. Let's go back to the main topic of this video. So let's see. I just went off on like a 20-minute tangent going into detail of my Hungarian experience. I feel like that's a little out of the scope of this video. So let me wrap it back a little bit, bring it back in. And so I ended up spending, we'll see how much I end up clipping into the video, I guess. But I did end up spending, Jesus Christ. I spent 6 months in Hungary. So I did end up living in Hungary with my girlfriend. And didn't end up finding a job, but ended up being able to stay for 6 months, which was really cool. Uh, so that was one goal I was talking about in my first video. For reasons didn't work out job wise, so I just legally couldn't stay much longer than 6 months. And so, yeah, so it's crazy that time has passed. And now I'm back in Serbia, so I come back to Serbia when my Schengen time is out. Serbia is notably outside of the Schengen zone, so I get my separate 90 days visa time here. So now I'm here, back visiting my friend, and yeah, just volunteering, basically volunteer working on his little family farm here, and yeah, figuring out what to do next. I have been, I guess, a little bit of my Hungarian experience, but I started taking an online TEFL, TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language course, so I could get an online certificate, and I can try and look for jobs teaching English. I've actually been teaching once a week. My I guess ex-girlfriend's little brother. We meet up once a week, and I've been doing little English classes with him, lessons with him, which is nice. So I still haven't officially finished my TEFL course, but I'm pretty much there. Probably only a few more hours of like videos and classes to do. And so the plan is to finish that up and then start looking around for English teaching jobs. And I'll use it as a way to make money because that's nice. I do need some money. And then also as a way to travel to a new country. I think it'd be neat to teach English. I mean, it's probably going to take me to Asia. I want to go out to Asia, but there's still a lot in Europe, Eastern Europe, Northern Europe. There's still a lot around here that I want to check out. So we'll see. Maybe I'll stick around this area. Um, but Asia, I want to make it out there eventually. Um, yeah, so I got to do the girlfriend experience in Hungary, living with her, which was a great time overall. A truly great experience. Learned a lot. Had great times. So I mean, I can't believe it's over. It's crazy. I made the first video and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and live with a girl. I did it. I did it in 6 months, and now it's over. It still kind of blows my mind. Now I've been in Serbia for over 2 months now, and close to 2 months, and that time is over. Yeah, it's crazy. Uh, so I did that. What else? On my first video, I said I'm not getting younger. I've wasted so much of my life, which is true. I was 27 when I made that, and now I'm 28. So I'm not getting younger. I've gotten older. Um, and yeah, I still feel like I've wasted a lot of my time. A lot of social media scrolling, a bunch of bullshit. Um, I've definitely done some fun things in the last 9 months, which I'll have to make, I guess, videos about or posts about. We got some cool contents, visited some cool cities, some cool places. So it's not like I did nothing. It wasn't a total waste of time. Had great experiences, met great people, met good people. Um, but I feel like I've wasted time with exploring things in at least the content creation setting. I have always said, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, gonna do this," and I did one video in 9 months. Now I'll make another. So I felt like that was wasted opportunity. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get back to it, so we're doing it now. Uh, yeah, so I have been doing things. I have been seeing where they take me, and it's been interesting. It's funny that I am back in. Well, it's not funny that I'm back in Serbia, but I'm back in the same basement eating oatmeal again. My oatmeal has upgraded since the last time. I do have a spoon this time too, which is nice. But yeah, it's funny. Guy from the U.S. back in the basement of some Serbian home in the middle of the country in a little village, eating oatmeal, making a YouTube video, talking to a camera. Uh, it's just kind of a funny little thing. Yeah, so it's been an interesting ride. I want us to start talking more about a lot of different things, just about my life, maybe about my experiences, but even other topics. I guess we'll see what kind of interests me. And I mean, I guess it turns out I love talking. Went on like a 20-minute rant. Um, so yeah, I'm still excited, still optimistic, still happy about where life is taking me and where it's taken me. Um, yeah, I mean, I love life. There's hard days, there's easy days, but it's always something interesting if you let it be. And it's easy to be negative, especially towards yourself and others. But it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. And life can be pretty cool if you just let it happen. Let it happen, but also kind of make it happen as well. there's a little bit of both there, right? Um, so yeah, I'm very grateful for where life has taken me, and well, I guess where God has taken me as well. A bit of a religious man, so I'll have to thank Him for that. And yeah, yeah, I don't want to get too crazy with certain topics, I guess, but it's definitely part of my life, so I will, of course, mention it. And it's interesting stuff to explore. I'm still exploring my religious beliefs, and it's interesting to see what other people believe and whatnot. And I guess that's a topic for a whole nother video, but either way, yeah. So video number 2, I'll try and actually put more out. Uh, Once again, I started making this stuff. First one because I watched a video about make a YouTube channel even if nobody watches, and so even if nobody watches, it was actually quite enjoyable for me to come back 9 months later, rewatch my video to try and prep for making this one, and I'm just like, oh, like it's funny because I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I gotta delete that first video. That's so cringe, that's so gross. It's like I'll just restart the channel, whatever. It's like I said all that shit, and then 9 months go by, and I haven't done anything. But it was honestly fun rewatching that video, and just it's interesting to see how far I've come. So I mean, whether anybody else thinks that, it's for myself. I actually quite enjoy that. Um, Not to be too narcissistic about it, but it was just interesting to see the shit that I was talking about at the time, and maybe what my mindset was like, and maybe some promises and goals I made that I didn't keep. So yeah, it's interesting. Um, so that was fun. I tried to wrote a few points from the first video to try and just touch on in this one, and yeah, I'll just try and make more videos just for fun. See where it takes me. See what happens. Um, yeah, it's fun. So yeah, we'll see what kind of content comes around. I'm basically just gonna be playing around with stuff and see what kind of, I don't know, sticks, or really what I enjoy doing is ultimately what I want to do, because I don't really want to do anything for true financial gain. Um, I mean, obviously that would be nice, right? You can just make content here or there and make money off it. You don't have to work a normal 9 to 5. Great, that'd be nice. But it's not really my goal with it. I'd rather it be more of a creative expression, um, which is why it's ultimately like I don't care if anybody else watches it. It's my own creative thing that I'm doing. That, and then honestly, it brings clarity in a lot of ways, like being creative, which is really nice. Maybe this could be a topic for another video. But it's nice to actually create stuff. It makes you feel good, it brings new thoughts in your head, and it keeps me on a positive outlook on life, which is nice. Um, so yeah, I guess that's the ultimate goal of, or trajectory of the channel for now. And yeah, I'll try and document the shit I do. Uh, I think I do some interesting stuff sometimes, and see some interesting sites, try and document that, and go from there. I don't know if I'll be doing. I'm, I'm a ranter. I'm talking like crazy. 11 minutes. Oof. Well, this one will be longer than the first one for sure. I don't know if I'll get into like vlogs and stuff like that. I think it could be neat. I still don't know if I have the balls to be a guy walking around with a camera in public. But I mean, who the fuck really cares? And if there's something neat, it'd be fun to show. Um, so we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be more personal talks like this. Maybe it'll be out and about. I guess we'll see now. And yeah, so I'm optimistic. I look forward to creating more content. Should be fun. I don't know how to end this because I keep talking. So yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I'm gonna eat my oatmeal now and probably watch some Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. I've wanted to watch that for quite some time now. I'm finally getting around to it. I love it. Very interesting stuff. Whether it's true or not, who knows? But there's definitely more to history than mainstream. Well, in that case, archaeology wants to admit. There's definitely more going on. So I find that show quite fascinating. I'm only a few episodes in, but I definitely want to keep finishing that, watching that, and yeah. So whoever is watching, I hope you enjoyed, and well, have yourself a good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Uh, make today a great day. Enjoy life. I know it can be hard, but try not to be your own worst enemy out there. And hard work brings good opportunities, brings fulfillment in life. So don't be afraid of doing something hard, and don't let your mind make it harder than it truly is. Because that's something I always seem to find. I make such big deals out of things. Here I go ranting again. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good day. Take it easy. I'll see you. Hopefully, hopefully not in another 9 months. Hopefully, maybe this one I can make in a few more days, in a week or something. I don't know. I'll have to play around with my schedule, see when I can actually do it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. See ya.